And welcome to our second episode of our illustrious podcast. Right? The 2 episodes down, and usually from what I've been told is the second of anything is always the best. You know, the second born child, the second trip to the buffet line, you know, Terminator 2. So the second is always good.
James Cameron's seconds are always good.
And it's good if you're listening to it because you're going to get our best. Because other than that, it's going to go downhill from here really quick.
Real quick.
So I am joined by my partners in crime, Sir Michael the Kingmaker.
How you doing?
And Lord Anthony Bloodsteel.
Yeah, that's me right here in red.
In red.
And I figure I'd give like really good like Game of Thrones intros because, you know, the second episode, let's just make it cool.
Hell yeah,
and,
man.
You know,
I'm down.
Don't want to, because I can tell maybe in a couple weeks it's going to be like, oh, here's Tony and shit, here's Mikey and I'm Dean. And
listen to our shit.
I don't give a shit anymore. Give me another beer.
Let's hope it does not get to that point.
Nah. We won't get to that.
Nah. So
there's always plenty to talk about in this world.
Shit, that's how we came up with this. We just talked about a bunch of shit.
We just talking shit. That's what it was.
Yeah. And we just want other people to listen to us talking shit. That's what it was.
All right.
We didn't have an audience.
God, stop interrupting me, God damn it.
All right, go ahead. Take over.
Okay, so what are we drinking today?
All right, so today I chose the 805 Firestone Walker Brewing Company. I'm sure plenty of people have tried it. I actually got recommended from one of my friends. His name's Connor. Shout out to Connor, you know, if you're listening. But yeah, I guess it's California brew. I guess a lot of people from California drink it. I'm not too sure. It's an ale, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it and see what I think, man.
What are you drinking, Dean?
I have a Stella Artois. Mainly because just like Dos Equis, it is a super easy beer to chug. And I remember coming here when you guys had a poker night, and I drank me about 15 Stella Artois. But no, it's a good beer. It's a Belgian beer. It's I like the green bottle because it's just like in Beer Fest when they make the schlitzes.
Yeah.
So no, but it's cool. It's easy to drink, you know. So
it's there. Yeah. You know what? One thing I noticed from you, Dean, is that you like a beer that you can just drink. You just drink.
Nothing fancy, just a beer that you can open and drink.
I don't know what it is. Just like with beer, I've never been to the point where I can enjoy a beer. You know, it's always been in a party setting. So I'm just drinking to, you know, just to see where the night goes.
I'm like that. There's days where I'm like that. But then there's some days where, like, I just get off work and I just want to sit down and be like, you know what? Just a good beer will be okay with me right now. Just to sit down, watch TV, and have just a beer, man. Just good tasting beer. And I've ran into those cases every now and then. I don't even care if it's a Bud Light or, you know, I mean, this 805 that I just tried, which is pretty damn delicious.
Yeah, it's really good.
I can sit here and I could drink whatever, man. I mean, beer, man. I like beer. I just like the flavor of it. I don't know. And maybe that's why we call it Drunk Weekends, because we're all pretty okay with drinking, except for Dean right now, which the face he's giving after he's chugged the Stella.
I just chugged my Stella.
And now that we got video evidence, you can actually see it.
I chug my Stella to let people know I'm about that life. Yeah, I'm not just a poser out here.
I'm going to chug my beer.
All right, so we got a variety of topics to talk about today. But first off, I think we need to talk to Mikey because our Vegas Knights
I know.
just took an L.
Yeah, their first L of this round.
Western Conference champ. They lost to the Jets. And you know what? Going into the game, I had no idea because I hadn't watched the Jets play, and honestly, I was completely blind. And going into it, I mean, it sounded like it was gonna be an okay series. I mean, they said they're gonna be a tough team, but dang, man, when they played today, there was some teamwork in their play, man. Some nice passes. I mean, we were kind of slacking on the defense, but man, they know how to play. We really got to step up. I feel like we gotta win this game too. In Winnipeg, if we don't take it, it's going to be really, really tough to come back from it. And if we win one in Winnipeg, we should be good. Because here in the Fortress, man, here in Vegas, man, it's tough to win, especially with our crowd. man, we got a big crowd, and we got a whole town, a whole city behind us that cheer, man. So I feel like people feel that. Especially when they come, man.
Well, yeah, because the Golden Knights are. No one was. Maybe there was people into hockey, but now I think more people into hockey because now we finally have a professional team.
Exactly.
You get behind it, they're doing really well.
And no one expected it.
Yeah, no, of course not.
I mean, I think the last time an expansion team was really, really good, I think it was the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Carolina Panthers. Their first year, they really, really, really went well. But either way, it's still going to be a good story. It's going to be on SB. It's going to be on the SB. It's going to be on Sports Illustrated. It's a good. Man. And just because of what happened to the city, on October 1st, it's something that no one was expecting, but it really brought Vegas together.
Yeah, it brought good spirit, man. It made us feel excited and. It felt like a community. You know what? When I first moved down here, that was one thing I never actually felt was a true sense of community in Las Vegas. And when the Golden Knights came here, man, like that's all I felt. And even after October 1st, like that's really what I felt was like everyone was like, you know what, like we're a community here, and like we're gonna stick together. And then like everyone just jumped on the Golden Knights as being like the big it's the vocal voice behind that, which is great, man. It's amazing, and you know what? I love this town, and I'm glad that the Golden Knights are pushing as far as they are right now.
Yeah, well, they have a tough challenge in Winnipeg.
Yeah,
and
definitely
any Canadian team.
I think anyone can get behind that. Canadian teams, they've been doing this their whole lives, man. This is like they've been doing this since they were cavemen or something. Been playing forever, and but. You know what? We got a good team, and if it takes this W this next game, it's gonna be a hell of a series. I'm excited.
All right, and then we also tomorrow, it's Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals for the Cavs and the Celtics, basketball. And man,
not excited or what?
No, it just LeBron gets so much shit, but. How many years in a row now has he gone to a conference final?
Dude,
I think
crazy amount.
I mean, he's not better than Kobe.
You're not gonna go as far as that?
No.
No.
Damn, you guys are crazy.
Never. He'll never be as good as Kobe.
Man, you guys are crazy.
I think Kobe Bryant is either better. No, I don't think he's better than Jordan, but he is.
He's fucking a legend.
He's number 2.
He played it, man.
He's number 2. Yeah, Kobe Bryant is
watching him play, man. It was crazy how good he was. And but I mean, I love Kobe. I love Michael Jordan. They're both good players, but like the fact that LeBron James is as big as he is and the way that he can move and maneuver, like play some really good ball, like that's crazy. And I feel like that. I bet you there's players that just see that and they're like, "Fuck!" Like I'm generally scared to guard this guy. Well, and you know what? I'm sure people feel like that when they guarded Kobe or Jordan. But like, as big as LeBron is, like that motherfucker can go to the hoop and dunk it like nobody's business. Like that instills fear, and I feel like I don't know.
You know what though? Who it must really suck for right now is Kyrie Irving.
Because
he left Cleveland. Yeah, and he was going to be the man in Boston.
You know what? Yeah,
and now he's just sitting there on the bench. But no, man, it's going to be a tough series. But I think Cleveland will pull it out and
go to another finals.
Yeah, and it's going to be the Golden State Warriors. I do not see the Rockets getting past because Steph Curry.
Has Steph Curry been playing? He's been playing now. He came back. I knew he was sitting out. Wasn't he?
And the X factor in Golden State is my boy JaVale McGee.
Yeah,
my boy JaVale McGee, man. Well, the guy who one time dogged me in the cafeteria because I was wearing the same color hat he was wearing.
Why you wearing the same color hat, man?
No, but that's gonna be a good series too. But I think it's gonna be Cleveland and Golden State
in the finals, which we've seen already, right? Like that.
That. Golden State taking the whole thing.
Yeah,
you think Golden State?
Yeah, I don't think Cleveland will be able to pull it off again.
Cleveland, man, LeBron James. It's crazy how this guy.
If Kobe were playing, then I would say
I saw a stat today that was showing like the winning percentage of players that have gone to championships, and it showed LeBron James was like the least because I mean he's been to the most championships, but he's only won like what 2 of them or 3 of them or something like that.
He's like I mean he's not like Charles Barkley who like one of the greatest players to never win a championship.
Yeah,
but every sport has that like one guy who's
one
like
player that
can't
take.
And the NFL probably the best quarterback ever.
Right now. Yeah. We want to say it together. Let's say it together. I'll take 1, 2, 3.
Jim Kelly.
I was gonna say Dan Marino.
Oh damn it!
I thought we were on the same page.
No. Jim Kelly, the Buffalo Bills, they went to, I think, 4 straight Super Bowls.
And even
wasn't it 4 or 3 straight Super Bowls?
Yeah. They didn't get one, huh?
And they didn't get
Dan Marino was the same, though.
Yeah, Dan Marino, he was like one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Yeah, he just never put a ring on his finger.
Wow. Which is crazy, man. You know what? There was a second there when Peyton Manning was playing. I honestly felt like he was going to be the same way, and like that was everything that was behind him. I feel like that was the stress on his back was.
We're talking about we're going to talk. Let's keep it funky. How much of a dweeb is Eli Manning?
Dude, I didn't give a fuck how much of a dweeb he is. That guy got 2 Super Bowls. You can talk trash about the Giants all you want. That motherfucker got 2 of them on his finger. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Eli Manning is just the goofiest.
There's so many fucking memes about that guy. It's the funniest thing ever. Like it shows Tom Brady with all of his Super Bowls, and it's like, and this guy, and it shows a picture of him with like a little like a sandcastle bucket on the beach, the big gut. It's like, and this guy beat him twice in the Super Bowl. And I was like, that is fucking hilarious. But you know what? He's got to, and I know he rides his defense quite a bit. But man, that guy's got to. So
both of them, Peyton has a lot of charisma. He's like a natural like comedian.
Yeah.
But Eli doesn't need to try. I think Eli it just comes out of him, man.
Those Super Bowl commercials were hilarious with Eli in them.
Which one?
Is it the moment he's dancing?
Yeah, the dirty dancing. That
was pretty funny.
Sorry, just went off topic. We were talking about the Mannings and just all you guys, because I have cousins who are just huge Giants fans. I think it's only myself and another cousin who's the track coach at Silverado. We're the only Chicago Bears fans.
Oh yeah,
but the rest of my family are just hardcore Giants fans.
That's what I am. That's what I've been. And, Eli, man, watch. Those were some amazing Super Bowls that we got, and they have some of those amazing catches. And oh boy, that got me really excited. And I mean, sure, he's got 2, and Payne's got 2, and Eli's coming to the end of his years. Which, you know what? When they didn't draft a quarterback, I was like, you know what? I'm okay with that because we still got Eli. As much as a lot of people talk trash about him, we still got him. He's still there, and everyone's behind.
I'll give him one more chance. Exactly. Of course, you can't build a new team around an old quarterback. So after this, either step aside and let someone else take the reins, or do something different.
Yeah. I'm always behind him because he was my quarterback, and I mean, since
he's my quarterback.
He's my quarterback, exactly.
He's my quarterback.
And I mean, I know we're gonna get a new one eventually, and I'll get behind him too. But right now, he still is mine.
I don't think you can talk quarterbacks as Chicago Bears fans. We haven't had a decent quarterback in a long time.
Yeah, in a while, man. I don't know. I just been who's your quarterback now?
It's the dude. He's a rookie from. He was a rookie from North Carolina. Mitch something, I forget. But the quarterback we had when we went to the Super Bowl was sexy Rexy Grossman.
Yeah, Rex Grossman. I remember that.
Yeah.
Rex Grossman
was the quarterback, and usually there was a stat saying like whatever team would score first wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
Devin Hester,
he ran it back. Opening
kickoff
ran back. I was like, we got this. And Peyton Manning said, nah.
Peyton Manning said, I'm gonna change the rules right now.
Mitch Trubisky is he's a quarterback.
They just picked him up or
last year at North Carolina.
Nice. Rich Trubisky.
So switching it up because it is in that sports season where hockey's in the Stanley Cup Finals, the NBA's in the finals. Football is starting not mandatory mini camps, but voluntary mini camps. But now it's almost towards the dog days of baseball, and God, baseball is it holds like a special place in my heart because all my injuries, all my legitimate injuries came from baseball.
You know what? People are probably listening like, oh, this guy played some good baseball in his day. It's like, yeah, hell yeah, we did. But I mean, it was against each other.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Who cares,
man? We the way the team was set up, it was always Louis' team. Oh, can you guys pick that up? That's a 5-0.
I'm sure they can.
That's a 5-0. So it was always Louis' team, which consisted of like Louis, Tony, Dustin Corbridge, like the high school guys who were always, you know. And then it was Frosty, which was like the misfits. We were just all thrown there. It was
like
me,
anybody you can find on the street.
It was just like, we need more players to play. To actually have two full teams.
Yeah, and then what's so funny was it was one summer when we finally beat Louis' team. We were like, man, I don't know. I think it was we went maybe 12 innings. It was a long way. Somehow someone batted in a run, and we were so pumped. Like, we finally beat Louis' team. And I was pitching. I was like, all right, that's cool. And then we're walking out. We're all happy. And the next thing I remember, everything goes black. Black. Like, completely black. Like, I close my eyes. And then I come to, and I'm laying face down on the grass. And I was, D, you all right? You all right? And then someone turns me around, and I hear a collective gasp, like, from everyone. And then I just hear someone say, holy shit. I had a goose egg on my head.
Damn.
Probably the size, I am not lying, probably the size of an orange. Like,
that's
right
pretty large.
Here, right there. And then, it turns out.
Was there photos of it?
No, there wasn't photos of it, but
man.
It turns out.
See it, man.
What happened was, my boy Shorty, aka Eduardo Gonzalez, threw a bat in the air, and I just caught the tail end of it, like right on top of my head, and then just boom, knocked out. Oh man! And then,
go ahead.
Oh, and then after that, there's a cop, and just to show you Jackpot's finest. There was a cop there watching us play baseball, and they took me over to him, and instead of being a concerned, police officer, like, oh, let me get you help. Let's see what we can do. But he just looked at me and was like, the fuck happened to him? Those were exact words. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, he just got hit with a bat.
Yeah.
Probably should do something. Probably should get in motion and help this kid
out. Right. So I just remember I went home, and my mom was freaking out, and they wouldn't let me go to sleep, and they were making me eat bread and drink Pepsi because they were afraid if I went to sleep, I would not wake up.
Yeah.
That's a concussion.
Yeah. Not supposed to sleep, man, until you come to. I mean, I remember when I got my concussion playing football. Like, I remember getting hit. I remember getting up, playing a couple more plays, and then just nothing until I came back at 3 a.m. at my brother's house. We were at Ishmael. Shout out to Ishmael. We were all sitting there as I think me, my little sister, Ishmael, and maybe Faustino or Oliva, and like we were watching Coraline, and like I remember just watching the screen, like thinking like, what is going on right now? Like, I was at a football game, and now I'm watching this strange show because I'd never watched Coraline in my life, and then like after a while, I came back and I was asking like, what's going on? They're like, you got a concussion, and I think you're coming back now from it. And they're like, you probably can go to sleep now. But that shit was crazy, man. Like, the weirdest feeling in my life. Like, everything went slow motion, and then I was gone for like 6 hours or something like that.
It's really weird. Like,
I've had 2 concussions. So.
It's a trip when you get a concussion. Like, now imagine football players who get those and don't tell anyone. And like, nah, man, I don't know how you guys are doing it, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how they can. That's probably where all the CTE and all that, all the issues with that's coming in. And
my first one was in Germany. I fell on ice.
Yeah,
I hit the back of my head. I woke up in class.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't tell anyone, or
no? They found me.
That's crazy.
In recesses. And then another time in Germany, I was
Wild Tony on the ground.
Another time was a shop class in Germany. We had these things that you had to like clamp to the table, but they're like 50 pounds, and I dropped it on my head.
Dang.
And I remember waking up in like the nurse's office.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. And I remember the funniest thing was funniest story from when I had a concussion was after I got concussed, I was actually playing quarterback, so they sat me out, and our second string went in, which was his name's Ben Mesmer. Ben, if you're listening, shout out. They played the whole game. We got our asses beat. We probably lost by like 40 points or something like that. And like I remember he, I guess apparently going down on the back home on the bus, I kept asking, like, it had to have been like every 5 minutes. So did we win? And we kept asking, and everyone just kept telling me, no, we didn't win, we lost. They were pretty nice about it and everything. And then finally, like, it had to have been like the 30th time I asked, so did we win? And Ben Mesmer was just fucking pissed. He was just like, no, we didn't fucking win, Mike. We lost by 40 points. I just thought this shit was funny. It was just...
well, if we're going to be on the football topic really quick, I can say my senior year I was a dick when I played.
Yeah?
I didn't have any sportsmanship whatsoever. We were playing Lund, and Lund is a very small farming town, majority Mormon, farming town. And when we were playing, it took maybe, I'm not bragging, but probably it took like 6, 7. We played 8-man football. It took like 7 guys to tackle me.
Yeah.
And after every run, they were so nice to me. Like, man, you're nice good run, man. Nice job, man. Man, you're tough, man. Good job. And I would do. And Shorty was there. Shorty remembered. He even shook his head. He was like, man, because they would pick me up, and I get up and I start counting them. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like all of you couldn't bring me down. And I was such a dick, dude. I was, oh, man.
That's good.
Yeah, that just reminded me you were talking about football. I was like, oh, man, I was a dick. Yeah. But let's rewind it back, talking about baseball. The standings in the MLB right now are in the AL East, which I think if these two teams are doing good, then baseball's doing good. The New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox are tied, 27-12. And, I mean, storied franchises like that, if they're doing good, then, it's going to be a good year. Because that has to be a crazy rivalry.
Yeah,
that has to be something where, like, probably has to be the biggest one.
Well, because there was the whole thing with, what's his name, Babe Ruth, right? There was a whole, like, that's the Boston curse. Well,
the curse of the Bambino.
Yeah, right? He got traded to the Yankees, wasn't it?
Well, to the for like a Broadway ticket or like something.
Yeah, right?
Broadway ticket and some money and all that. What game was it where No, it was when the Red Sox were down. Was it 3-0?
It was a 3-0 3-1 when they were down. And, like, that was the time where, like, no one had come back from that. And they were like, there's no person that's come back from this, and then like they came out with that miracle. That was crazy. That
has to be one of the greatest series in MLB history. That was amazing.
You know what? And that series is probably because that was the AL East. That was like the championship, right? The AL championship. Yeah. It wasn't even the majors.
Was that the year the Sox won? That was the year the Sox won the
Red Sox
2004.
Won the World Series. 2004. And. Yeah, I mean, like, the World Series wasn't even as big as I felt like it was when they played the Yankees. The Yankees games were, I think that was like when everyone was just in awe.
I think it's that New York like grit.
Yeah.
Well, not grit. It's that New York attitude.
Yeah,
and that definitely. Boston grit.
Yeah.
It's that. Oh, dude,
they don't clash. They don't clash. It
looks like my Braves are first in the East.
And the
Atlanta Braves
23-15.
Oh, and the NL. See, the NL is the National League is that's what men play. Boys play in the AL.
We can talk about that.
Yeah,
we got
boys
Who's your
play.
team? Who's your team?
My team is currently in third right now, but it doesn't matter because we won the World Series 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
that was an amazing
run.
World
Won it in the best game, hands down, ever played. That game against Cleveland, hands down the best game.
You know what? In Cleveland, because they both had something at stake, right? Was that
Cleveland had about like 50 years, I think.
50 or something like that, which is a big chunk. And then yours, what was the Cubs?
I think it was 104 years,
which is crazy. That is, that's insane.
That was the curse of the Billy Goat, and then
here you go.
You just hear it. Won the World Series. I was watching that game at work on my phone, and there was a delay on it because of my phone. But when they won, I cried. I could not believe it. There's a picture like on my Instagram and my Facebook that I always put up every year the Cubs would be out in the World Series. And it was when I was a little kid and I had a Cubs hat. I had a Cubs hat on. and I'm just in a shitty mood. And I was like, this is the life of a Cubs fan. Like,
Nice.
That's always happened. And then when they won it, I was like, man, I should retire this photo, but I'm not. Because I don't want people thinking I'm a poser or like bandwagon.
Nah.
We were at Chili's when they won the World Series. It was me, you, Maggie, and
I remember
Luis.
that. Yeah, I remember.
And we were sitting down, and I remember there was a ton of people in there. And then
And when they won,
all of a sudden we just and they won.
Yeah,
and
honestly,
it was amazing.
I don't think there was any person really upset. Well, besides probably Cleveland fans, but like not a whole lot of people were upset. They were like, it was either way it went. Like people were like, man, this was a good World Series.
And you know, it was like when the Red Sox won, everyone was happy.
Yeah.
And then the Red Sox won again when they beat the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah.
And then did they win another one?
I think they might have just. It might have been just two, but I'm not sure.
But after a while, you start getting like pissed off.
There's
after a while, like you don't.
Right.
And especially, I think it has to do with New England.
Yeah.
The Patriots.
Yeah.
Because but. Bullshit to anyone who's like, I hate Tom Brady. Yeah, if Tom Brady was playing for your team, you wouldn't hate him.
Yeah,
of course not. Yeah.
Shit. You'd suck his toes.
Tom Brady, if you're listening, man, come to Chicago, man. Come on,
we need a quarterback.
Man. We need a quarterback, man.
Yeah.
I have MS, Cookie. You guys don't watch Empire?
No.
Oh, Terrence Howard is the man.
Yeah? I never actually sat down and actually watched it. You know what? There's actually been plenty of people who tell me to watch it, but I've never actually sat down and
There's
watched
an episode where he's in his wife has a heart attack and he's in the chapel in the hospital and he brings down the crucifix and he's talking to Jesus.
Really?
Like, if you take her away from me, man, I will rain down hell on you. I was like, dude, you're talking. They're going like way so far, but it's just the way Terrence Howard talks.
Yeah.
Terrence Howard's the man, dude.
That's amazing.
So let's see. Cleveland is number 1 in the AL Central with the 1919 record. So the AL Central is pretty much up to grabs.
Yeah.
AL West, Houston. Houston's in first.
Yeah.
Angels,
right
Seattle, and then that minor league team that should not be in the major leagues, Oakland. Oakland's a joke, man. Oakland. Man, maybe if they set all their games like in Money League, like a movie, maybe they'll start winning again. But they're 19-20, and Texas is 16-25. I
mean, in the NL, the NL West, San Diego ain't so hot. They're going 14-26. It's actually pretty ugly.
Yeah, the Dodgers are not doing so hot either.
Dodgers ain't doing so hot either. 16-23.
No, the worst record in the MLB is the Chicago White Sox. They're 9-27.
That's crazy.
You know what? They need to hire Ozzie Guillen back. He would have whipped them into shape, dude.
Chicago White Sox 9-27. Man, that is crazy. They haven't hit double digits yet.
So, like I said, we're in that stretch where it's going to be just baseball on TV. Hockey's ending.
Well, let's be fair. The World Cup's just around the corner.
The World Cup is around the corner.
It is around the corner.
The U.S. isn't in it.
The U.S. isn't in it, so it's probably not going to.
But Mexico's in it.
Mexico's in it. Germany's always in it. So let's.
Well, that's the first game, right? They play each other, right?
Yeah. Mexico and Germany.
Germany. That's going to be cool.
Oh, was that the first?
That's the first game.
I remember. Let's see if I can find a tweet I made about the World Cup the last time they played when Germany. Who was Germany playing?
They played Brazil when they
won it.
Yeah, like 6-0.
I made a funny tweet. Let me see if I can find it, man.
How boring a game was that? You expecting something like crazy, and
I remember it because I had just lost my job. Shout out to Sam's Club, by the way.
I love that.
Yeah, I just lost my job, and I remember watching the World Cup, and I remember sitting down, and it was like goal after goal, and I'm like, yes. What is going on here?
Yeah, because you're an avid German Germany fan, right? So you were happy.
But even I was stunned. Like, you don't see that in soccer.
No, definitely not.
You see games that go over 90 minutes, and it's like 1-0.
Yeah. Basketball, soccer. It's a hard sport to like watch and sit down and like. I feel like it just takes too long. I feel like maybe the field is too big.
Well, the field is huge.
It's huge.
They never stop the clock for anything.
They don't.
Yeah, they just keep going.
Yeah. The only time if someone's really injured is the other team will throw the ball out of bounds because that stops the clock.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and the ball just kicked back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
See, like, that's the reason why I kind of like hockey is that, like, with hockey, it's got the similar like aspects to soccer, but it's a lot faster. Shots are a lot more frequent, and
smaller.
Yeah, it's cool, man. That's kind of why I like kind of behind hockey right now. But
our whole city's behind hockey right now.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna stick with it, man. That's why I'm wearing a fucking Golden Knights shirt today, even though they lost. You know what? I put the shirt on after they lost because I wanted to show my spirit.
Whether they win or lose, they're still our team.
Exactly. We're still behind them.
We have a true Cubs fan over here, and he stuck by them every single year. Every single year.
He got behind them, and when you got behind them, they probably were still they were like 86 years into winning a World Series or something like that.
So if anybody ever wants to call Dean a bandwagoner, they can just come and bring it because
they can come and fight me.
I was gonna say because
fight Dean out.
There's bandwagoners. There's people that love their team since they were little.
All right.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to find that tweet because it was really funny, man.
Wait, while you find that,
because sometimes I'm really clever.
Keyword sometimes.
All right, while you find that, I gotta say something right now. So last episode, I got a lot of shit wrong, and you guys didn't call me out on any of it. Well, maybe you guys called me out on one of them, but you guys got to call me out on a few things because there was a lot of things I got wrong. Like the Full Metal Jacket one, like that one, you should have been like, "You mean Full Metal Jacket?" I'd be like, "Yes, Full Metal Jacket." Not
I think it was our first one, and we're just like, "Well, let's not be
mean or something." Like that.
Let's just let it see what. And I don't think any of our viewers said anything. I don't think anybody was like in the comments like, "Well, that wasn't Full Metal Jacket."
Shit, that's how I want our comment section. I want them to call me out and shit like that. I'll fight you. I'm right, you're wrong. That's what I'm saying. Like it was quite a few times where I was messed up, and
but it's also called Drunken Weekends.
Yeah, it's like, truth be told, I was pretty drunk that day too, so I can understand why I was kind of messing up. But if I mess up, I just want you guys to be able to call me out on some of those mess ups. Which the first one you guys did call me out on, but
I think we were really nervous too.
Yeah.
We were like, "Oh, that's our first time."
We don't know what to do.
So I found it, and I think only nerds or history guys are gonna get this. But on July 8th of 2014, I tweeted, "Leave it to Germany to unleash a hard, fast, and crushing attack. Period. Wonder if they used that same game plan before."
Oh,
damn.
The 1939 Blitzkrieg, man.
That is the worst.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because these Germans, they're not known for the humor. That was pretty cool. All right, so we got the sports. We got sports out of the way. So we're going to take another hot take right off the bat. All right, you guys ready for this one?
Hot take.
You guys ready? Down. Man crushes. Who and why?
Man crushes. You know what? I like Chris Pratt. The reason why I like Chris Pratt is he was chubby and Parks and Rec. He was a pretty big guy, and then like he got yoked for Guardians of the Galaxy, and like he is funny as fuck. I get behind that guy 100%.
Look at Tony, dude. Tony doesn't.
I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Tony's the kind of guy. He's so straight.
I need his plaid. What's going on?
I was gonna say mine's
like, I'm so straight. I eat my hot dogs from the middle. Tony, have you got a prostate exam? Listen, I don't even let people wag their fingers in my face.
I was gonna say Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, that is good. Yeah, that's good.
It's just he used to come off as a nerd, and now he's kind of like
he was so funny in Thor Ragnarok, man. He was.
Yeah. He was.
And then he's also funny in Portlandia.
I
know the show. It's on IFC. But I've seen his interviews with Conan O'Brien, and there was an episode where Conan was like, I've always wondered if the carpet matches drapes, and he just like pulls his pants down and shows them, and it was like, what the hell? Like, this guy's hilarious.
Yeah, no, he's Jeff Goldblum's a really good answer. I like I have two right now.
Damn.
Apparently. Two. It's kinda, lyrically, musically, it's Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy.
Okay.
Dude, that guy just his songs are
magic.
Dude, and for the longest time, like I've always been like, I'm a metalhead. I always listen to metal, but man, Fall Out Boy just gets me, man.
Yeah.
And then my second one is Adam Driver.
Nice.
Fucking Kylo Ren, man. Maybe I like Kylo Ren. Maybe I like Adam Driver more than I like Kylo Ren. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not like.
He's a cool guy, man. I don't know if you guys have listened to his TED Talks. He actually has TED Talks out, and he was a Marine, which I had no idea, and that's what he talked about in his TED Talks. And
he got into a mountain bike accident.
Yeah, he got like in an accident,
honorably discharged.
So he got honorably discharged, and but yeah, really cool guy, man. Really, really mellow, like really like down to earth. It kind of feels like, and it's kind of a nice guy. I kind of feel awkward that I kind of answered mine pretty fast. I was like, no, I got it.
I knew this.
I was like, I'm gonna go for it, dude. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about dudes in the gym, man. I'm gonna bring up this question.
Hey, sometimes it's got to be said.
I'd figure Tony would be the one that would like. I'm not answering this.
It's like I refuse. I don't want to partake in this. But. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good one. And you know what? Jeff Goldblum?
That was a really good one. That was a really good one, dude. I like Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum reminds me of a one Kyle Carpenter. Like he has like Kyle Carpenter has that kind of wit.
Shout out to Kyle Carpenter.
Kyle,
your brother-in-law.
He has that kind of wit to him. He's really like with Kyle.
You're saying Kyle's good looking?
Kyle's very good looking. He's a good looking.
Okay, good.
But with Kyle, it's like he has that like. He can put you down with just a look, like he can look at you, like you say something stupid, and he'll look at you and he'll do this little laugh that when we were in Reno, I perfected like almost all his mannerisms, but he did one where he just like he did like a little scuff and he just kind of look at you. And it's like, damn, dude, Kyle, you can say more with that. You can make me feel so tiny, man.
Yeah, Kyle, he's a pretty good guy, and he does kind of remind me of Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, very much so. All right, so let's actually we've been going for about 35 minutes now. We haven't even gotten to like an actual topic that we wanted to talk about today. But one of the topics that I wanted to talk about, and I guess the main reason why it came up and I wrote it down was because whenever because we grill here a lot in the house, we actually grill quite a bit, and no
matter what the weather is.
Exactly, it can be cold outside. Yeah, we'll grill. And the other day we were grilling burgers, and we've been grilling burgers for quite a bit. And Dean's generally here, and we always say, "Hey, Dean, you want a burger?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, no cheese though," and like that was something he would always say not to have. And my topic essentially is like, what kind of food would you just not touch or eat? Like, what's something that you wouldn't sit down and normally eat? And mine, I don't really have much, but I remember sushi was on that list for the longest time until like one day I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. You know what? Because I wasn't really avid about seafood. Seafood's just not something I was. Fuck, we live in Jackpot. It was not seafood that no one was like, let's go get sushi. It wasn't something that was back there. So when I finally had it, I was like, it's not that good. It's not that good, but he was like, I'll try it again, and I tried again, and now I've gotten to a point where I crave it sometimes. And Dean, Tony, what do you guys got? What is
I have multiple. Mine would be, I don't like squid or octopus. Tried it, didn't like it. Clams or mussels, not a fan of. And I hate to say this, but a lot of people hate me for, I don't like lobster.
Don't like lobster, huh?
People are like, you eat shrimp, but don't eat lobster. But some people said there's different ways to make it. Maybe you didn't like the way it was made, but I just don't like lobster.
Just the taste of them?
Like, just like not a fan of it.
Like, I heard like it's really buttery though. It's like really buttery.
No, but few people at work have told me, hey, go to this place, they make it this way, and that's what makes it better. But it's just, in my head, it's just, and I have a rule that I learned from Andrew Zimmern, who's on the Travel Channel, is you have to try everything twice. Don't just try it once, try it twice.
That's why the second time around is the best thing, dude. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, try it twice.
That's what we're doing right now.
Exactly. That's number 2 right.
And even in his show, he would go, I tried this before. I'm going to give it another try. And he's like, you know what? I still don't like it. And that's how I feel. Try it at least twice, because the first time it could have been made wrong. The first time it could have been a bad batch. There could have been so many variables in that first one. Why not give it a second try? Maybe your second try, like, wow, this is really good. That's how I was with sour beers. Hated sour beers. So they tasted like throw up. Now I love sour beers because I gave them a second chance, and now I was like, you know what? They're really good.
All right, Dean. Well, okay. Well, before Dean, you go. All right. So you just said that, and that was your argument. Start trying it twice. So We should try hot and juicy.
No.
The second time?
No.
Hey, you said it. Hey,
Try a food. I've had shrimp many a times.
Okay.
Try a food. Yeah, not a restaurant. It almost kills me. I'm not going back.
That's a rule. That's a good rule.
If it almost kills you, don't go back.
Your body knows. Your body.
Yeah. It took me 2 or 3 years to go back to Habit Burger when they almost tried to kill me. The only reason I went back is they offered me free fries.
Nice.
Shit, dude. I think I'm kind of a really picky eater. I will not cheese. I will not eat on a burger unless it's a Big Mac. The only other time I'll have cheese is with lasagna, but it just can't be anyone's lasagna.
Fresh Parmesan or something?
Buffalo mozzarella. Let's see what else. Milk I can only take with my protein shake. That's the only time I'll drink milk. If I eat it with,
you take milk with your protein?
I do. I drink whole milk, and my mom gives me so much shit for it. My mom thinks I'm gonna die. You
take too much, huh?
This
is really fattening.
Yeah, what is?
But the thing is, I'm trying to take in calories and all that.
And fat's not bad.
And it's not like I'm just sitting around either.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
You're moving. You're working.
Curling 205 right now. Man. Come on, man. That's a
big weight.
Let's milk. And it's weird with my cereal. I can only have a certain amount of milk, and there has to be more cereal than milk in order for that.
Crazy.
I don't like cake.
That's a different one, but okay.
See, one thing I've been getting from this is like I don't think you just like really like dairy.
Well, because I don't like eggs. Funny story, I almost got beat up for not making scrambled eggs right, but that's another story for another time.
I'm gonna beat your ass for not making these eggs.
And let's see. I don't like eggs. I don't like milk. I don't like cheese. Pies, any kind of sweets. And it's weird because I'm a big dude, but I got introduced to the bad foods when I was a little kid. Let's see, I will not eat like ramen in a packet just because I got really sick and like chili. Yeah, I can't eat.
If it almost kills you, don't.
Yeah,
that's probably why you don't go to back to juicy.
It's gonna kill you. Don't eat it.
I'm same way with the Sonic. I had a chili dog from Sonic one time, and that shit messed me up.
They're good for ice cream, but that's about it.
I was praying by the toilet when I fell asleep, and it was the
worst.
worst.
A few drunken nights like that.
I can do ice cream every once in a while, but I can't have it like every single day, or I just get sick. So I did. Maybe it is just dairy. Maybe I just don't like dairy, but that's. I don't like fish. I can't eat. I can't eat sushi. I will not put a piece of sushi in my mouth.
I think seafood. I think for the most part is something that a lot of people really don't.
I think you have to be raised on it, and I think a lot of people in Jackpot weren't raised on it because, to be honest, I don't think that was something that people, even the general store, didn't stock much when it came to fish, other than maybe tuna.
I mean, like if you wanted fish, you go to the rest area. You go fish there.
Well, of course. And
what was the?
I've eaten fish. I've eaten fish.
Was it Fish Trap, or what's the one that's like close to Wells?
I don't know. I used to go to one called O'Neill Basin.
O'Neill Basin.
So you go past Contact.
Yeah.
And then there was a sign that said O'Neill, and you turn and go down a dirt road. And when you got to the further one down there, there'd be like a reservoir there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, yeah.
Fishing, man, that was amazing. I used to love fishing.
I one time, no lie, my dad took me to the rest area when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and there's a river, and then there's during the spring. No, it was during the summer when the water wasn't so high. We'd walk across to the other side of the river.
You could easily do that.
Across, and then there was like a little pond. And my dad found like this fishing wire that some guy had put on a stick and a can of corn, and he put it together and just rigged up a little fishing rod. Oh, dude, we caught a huge ass catfish.
Really?
I remember my grandma cooked. Yeah, I was like, God damn, I can't believe it. I mean, if you wanted, you can always fish in Jackpot. You just gotta make sure you do it like low key so you don't get caught. You know?
No, yeah, I know. You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to be out there.
I think the coolest time was there used to be beavers down there. There probably still is.
Oh, yeah.
But they built a dam. And one time the sunlight hit that spot, and you could it looked like, it probably wasn't, but it looked like hundreds of fish. You just see them in the bottom. It was like just drop your line and then just pull.
Yeah.
And me and Luis, sometimes we caught a trout. It was huge.
Oh,
And it was one of those things where like we were younger. No one's gonna cook it for us. And then he swallowed the hook.
Oh.
So we tried to get it out, and eventually we got it out. And then we put him back in the water, and he just floated upside down. I'm like, oh no!
Yeah, so just taking and eating.
I'm like what the hell? And then like all of a sudden he flipped upside down, and just swam away real fast. I'm like, what?
Psych.
These jokes.
Maybe the pain just hurt too much. Just fainted for a second. He's like, oh fuck! Oh, I gotta go.
My dad was a weird guy because we'd go out to the rest area and the rest area of the river.
Salmon Falls Creek.
This is probably why I grew up on junk food, because he would buy a bag of Fritos and a big thing of sour cream and a 6-pack of Pepsi, and that was my lunch. We'd go out
get my fish, right?
But we would we'd go catch snakes. There used to be like garter snakes.
Oh, there's a lot of snakes.
Oh man, the time of snakes there, and I would catch a snake because I was like, no, they bite. But when I was a little kid, I remember picking up garter snakes by the tail and then reach around and try to get me, and like, oh no, I was fearless when I was a kid, man. So the rest area, dude, snakes and fish, man. That's what the rest area.
I remember going to the restaurant. I think it was me and Luis, but I'm not sure. And you could walk from the restaurant. You walk across the bridge. You go down the other side. And there was a path that took you to the other side.
The back of the restaurant.
No, it was just the other side of the river.
Okay.
But sometimes the river was too high, so you'd go up over the bridge and come down the other side. And I remember telling Luis, I'm going to go over there. And maybe it was just, because I was young or whatever, but I remember looking, and the brush had been pretty high because we had a good wet winter. And there was a snake in there, and I swear that thing was huge. And but it looked like it was like a boa constrictor just hanging out in there. And I'm like,
man.
And I remember just turning around and going back to the other side.
Nope, there's a snake in my boots.
But I remember the first few times I went to the rest area, like when I first moved to Jackpot, I remember I know a lot of things now, but back then I didn't know that much. And I remember thinking, I'm here to rouse snakes over there. They can't get me. And I remember Mr. Oneida, who was our science teacher at the time, was like, all snakes can swim. And I'm like, well, you got to be kidding me. I was like,
come over across that river.
Yeah, I was like, well, he really wants to. But with all snakes, they not out to bite you. They only bite you when they feel threatened.
When they feel threatened.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah. He's not going to come across the river just to purposely bite you. If he feels threatened, then he will come across.
Shout out to Marion Oneida for always wearing his pants too low and bending over to help a student. Yeah. You got to look at this hairy ass crack.
Yeah.
And what we used to do,
listen to this, I'm so sorry.
What we used to do too. Oh my God, we would sit. There were girls next to us sitting there. We would purposely call Mr. Oneida and be like, "Hey, Mr. Oneida, we don't get this problem." Well, what is it? Let me take a look at it. And he'd bend down like that.
That's the worst. You guys are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
That's good though.
Marion Oneida was the man, dude. But Oneida, Strom, and Ward were
those guys
are just too cool.
Trio, man. But I remember what was the place right over the big mountain?
Beer Belly Gulch.
You mean behind the rest area?
No, I guess. Well, if you just climbed over and went down, I thought that was like the salmon trap. Wasn't there like a?
Because there is the fish trap. But that's you have to.
That's a little farther down.
Yeah, you go up over the mountain, and you take a road down. Which the last time we went out there, I think it was me, Matt Slover, Jackpot Joe, and we took your uncle's truck. I think he had a Bronco. We took it, but there had been such a bad rainstorm that it washed the road out. Right, so we had to walk the rest of the way. Remember, that's a really neat place to hang out, is the fish trap.
Yeah. I remember like that when I was younger, when there was actually the road. Like that's where we fished, and I remember like very similar. How you said you got, what was it, Fritos and sour cream? Ours was Doritos and
bean dip.
Bean dip, and we got Doritos, bean dip, and then like it was like flavored water, seltzer water. But like it was
like
delicious.
Clearly Canadians or something.
No, it was exactly
Clearly
that's what it was.
Canadians.
And like that's what we would get, and like we would go back there and we'd fish, and like I remember the first fish I ever caught, because after that I caught quite a few, but like the first fish I ever caught it had to have been like 14 inches. It was a big fish, and it was a rainbow trout. But the crazy thing was, I didn't catch it with a regular fishing rod. I caught it with the
soda
can with
yeah,
the
we should have had a fish like that.
That's how I caught it. I remember it was pulling and pulling. I was like, it's got to be stuck. It's got to be stuck. And I was hella young, so like I just kept pulling and pulling and pulling. And then finally, like my dad came over and he's like, oh hey, what's going on? And like everyone was like, what's going on? And like we kept reeling it in, and finally we got it out. And like big rainbow trout.
Yeah.
I was so happy about it. And like my mom, she cut off all the scales and everything and cooked that up, man.
That
delicious,
dude. I'm telling you,
that was the best feeling of my life.
Because when my grandma did it, and it's weird because I don't. Where my grandma lived in Mexico, there wasn't. I mean, yeah, I guess there's a lot of lakes like in Mexico City, but you would think that she had been doing this her whole life. Like she knew where to slice, how to gut, how to skin, and everything. And I was like, wow, man, this is crazy. But shout out to the rest area for being the place where you would go and drink, or you could go and take a date out there. Or that was the place. And you know what? I'm surprised cops never caught on to the idea.
You know what? They probably did. But they're like, you know what? Let's give them this. And I kind of feel like maybe like, because I remember sometimes they go out there with their
no harm, no foul. You know.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'm sure they were out there a few times with people.
I'm pretty sure they knew what was going on. I'm pretty sure they knew. I'm pretty sure they saw a car with two people of the opposite sex, and they knew what was going on over there. Or if they saw a car full of dudes, with a bunch, like they knew that there's a good chance there's beer in this car right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Shout out to the rest area, because I guess every town has that one place where you can go and
hang out. Yeah. I mean, I feel like Jackpot has quite a bit of them, but like the rest area is a really good.
Well, I think because it was Jackpot, there was not much. I think growing up here, you had movie theaters. You had MGM had an amusement park at one time. You could go to Circus.
You would find
There's so many things to do. And there it was just like go to school, and then after school, what do you do?
You had to be creative, man. And I wasn't creative for the longest time. All we used to do was just go down to the court and play basketball for hours on end. And like, I mean, after that, we were just like, well, what else can we do?
Oh, it's not bad, dude. We used to walk around town.
Yeah,
that's what we did. We'd walk around town.
That's exactly. No matter how cold it was. With the last podcast we talked about it, it'd be fucking 1 degree outside, and we were like, well, what do you guys want to do? Let's go walk around. All right,
something's bound to happen, right?
Something will happen.
Speaking of a funny fishing story, I went fishing with your family one time. That's when your dad had bought that red van. We all piled in the van. We went to Salmon Dam because I think it was Idaho Free Fishing Day. Are we saying that's the neighborhood sweep? We went and we were just fishing, and I don't think anybody's having your luck, but your dad caught like a little tiny fish. I remember this clearly. He grabbed it, threw it back in the water, and before it hit the water, a bird came and grabbed it and flew off with it.
What?
And to this day, I remember that clearly, and we all just looked at it like oh my goodness.
What the hell just
happened?
happened?
What just happened?
That's
like
crazy.
That bird was just like, wow, couldn't get any easier.
do you guys think there's like monsters in Salmon Dam?
You talking like Loch Ness monsters?
Yeah. Maybe, man. Maybe.
I know when you drive to Reno from Vegas, you pass Walker Lake, and every time I'd always stare at it because I know there's something in that water. I know there's beasties, man. There's Tessie in Lake Tahoe.
There's a base right there around there, right?
And Hawthorne,
Hawthorne base, right?
Yeah.
They probably experimenting shit with stuff there.
Probably
three-eyed fish or what?
No, they got the Nessie. They got those big monsters just in that water, man.
It always comes back to Kyle, but Kyle would always get pissed off at me because when we were in Reno together, I always tell Kyle, I was like, man, God damn it, I wish cryptozoology would be a major, and he would rip into me
so mad.
Wait a minute, why would you study something fake? No, Kyle, wouldn't it be cool?
Like me fake, man. It's just real.
I always get pissed off at me because I always go to the computers at UNR, and he always said there's always two things you're always going to be looking at. You're either going to be watching To Catch a Predator videos on YouTube, or you're going to be watching like Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot story.
Oh man, I feel like you guys would be Ishmael's best friend.
I could see. I could possibly see a Bigfoot. Loch Ness Monster, no. I could see Bigfoot, but Loch Ness Monster,
shit.
no.
There's a Loch Ness Monster.
No
yes,
way.
There is. And you know what? I'm going to give you the same argument I gave Kyle.
All right, let me hear it. I want to hear this.
Kyle is he's a scientific guy.
Of course.
There is nothing wrong with science explaining everything. But as a human, we should still believe in things that we can't prove because that's what makes us human. That's what makes us wonder. That's what leads scientists to figure shit out. Because you hear a story around a campfire, be like, no, there is this beast walking through the woods, and it only comes out at this certain time, and it moves in groups of 4, and it is the biggest beast we've ever seen. There's going to be people who believe it. They're going to be scared. Well, I'm not going to go out there. There's that one person who says, no, I want to figure out what it is. Science. It's the one scientist. So there's balance. There's a balance to the force. Know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
I still don't believe there's a long-term monster.
Yeah, you can't believe it.
No, I've seen in plenty of documentaries where they just go up and down in a boat with a sonar, and they just there's nothing in this water.
There was some vibration for about 30 seconds. I think that was him.
But the only reason I could say Bigfoot was because we live in the big United States, and there's some, even in Nevada, there's some parts of the desert where people just don't hang out.
Don't go, right?
And,
it's not place
and not saying that there couldn't be some kind of creature living there.
We do live in the United States. But speaking of Ishmael, you remember that? Oh, man. One thing Ishmael loves is ancient aliens.
He loves ancient aliens.
Dude, have you ever... And that's like the most focused I'd ever seen Ishmael. Because I lived with Ishmael Faustino for a while, and we'd watch it like when because that dude worked... He worked so much, but when he'd come home, he'd have like that 2-hour break, and he'd just sit down on the couch, and Ancient Aliens was on, and that was the most focused I've ever seen him. Like, he would watch, like, he was so intent, like, watching it, making sure, like, he got everything. It's like, oh, man, Ishmael really likes it. And then for a while, the longest joke was like, Ishmael would get so drunk, and Caitlin, who's now his wife, we were like, how did Ishmael get home? And me and Faustino would always do that dude that comes on Ancient Aliens. We're just aliens.
I feel like we should make one for Ishmael. Ishmael should have one to go. Aliens. We should make a meme just for Ishmael.
Oh, man. It was so funny because when I lived there, Ishmael would come home drunk sometimes, like super drunk. And I'd be sleeping on the couch. And he'd open the door and he'd just come right on in. And he would look at me, and I don't know if he knew I was, because I would wake up, but I wouldn't let him know that I was awake. And he'd stay looking at me for like 10, 15 minutes, just talking all sorts of spicy shit. Dude. Like, man, what are you doing? Get up, man. You're not drunk. Get up. and it's funny because the whole time he's swaying because he's really drunk. Right? It's like, I drink more beer than let's drink. Let's drink. But he would never wake me up. He just talked so much shit to me. And I was there I was like, okay, don't move. I was like, Ishmael's a T-Rex. His vision is based on movement. So if I don't move, he won't see me. So I'd be right there. I was petrified. Like, God, Ishmael's going to wake up. And then he'd stop talking shit to me, and he'd go to the computer, and he'd play dance music. And it was so hard just to look at, just not to laugh. And then one time I lost it. I had to get up and I started laughing. He played Michael Jackson.
No, he didn't.
He played Michael Jackson on the computer, and he got up and he did the moonwalk and did the contract. I was like, Ishmael, it didn't work.
I'm trying to sleep here, man.
Oh, God. I just got up and I just went to the bathroom. I was cracking up,
man. He's like, I'm going to get this motherfucker. I know he's up, but I'm going to make him laugh.
Dude, shout out to Mitch Melides. I love Mitch Melides.
That's pretty amazing. All right. Well, we're sitting at 58 right now, so I don't know. Shoot. I guess we could go to our second topic, which we barely are getting to right now. This one's pretty good. So, the drunkest you've ever been. I feel like this one is a really good topic because most of mine, honest to God, I can't remember. But what I do remember, for the most part, which makes me laugh the most, is the day after. Which most times the day after, I'm completely confused, don't know what's going on, and one of the biggest memory I can remember the most is it was at Martinez's house. Shout out to Martinez when we did the week of drinking.
Which he was our one view from Australia. I sent her a message today. It's like, hey man, did you listen to the podcast? It's like, yeah, I listened to like 20 minutes of it. It's like, so it's good to hear voices from home. I was like, dude, you're the one view from the Oz.
So international. I was so excited, like international viewers, we got him. And then when you pointed it out, I was like, Well, that still counts.
He's technically old. But
he might have heard it like 16 hours later or something. But
I mean, from that week, what I remember was, I mean, I was gone, so I don't remember anything the day before. But I remember waking up. I remember and it's not like one of those regular wake ups where you just wake up like, oh, I'm hungover. Like it's that crazy wake up where you just like you just like fly up, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? Like I remember I flew up, I woke up, and I was like, what's going on? And I remember being in Jorge Martinez's bunk bed, the lower part of his bunk bed, and I'm like, I was just thinking like, what the fuck is going on? And I remember sitting on the side of the bed like, it's like, man, I don't remember last night. I honestly don't remember last night. And then I'm like, I must have mumbled something, but then Dean was like, I remember hearing Dean just, and then he was on the top bunk bed. I remember him climbing down, and he had no shorts on. He just sat down too, and he's like, oh man, what the fuck happened last night? And I swear to God, that was the question of the day, because every time we woke someone up, it was just like, what the fuck happened last night? But I remember like it was crazy because like we woke up and we were like, what the hell's going on? And no, but I remember waking up to was I shouldn't say it. But I remember waking up and like I remember going to the kitchen and I remember seeing Tolly, and like Tolly was under the table, passed out under the table. Wake his ass up, and he's like, man, what happened last night? Same fucking question, like wondering what the hell's going on. Like everyone's obviously hungover as fuck, so like we all sit down, we're all trying to figure out what's going on. And like I remember someone came up to us and was like, guys, I'm hungover as fuck, but I was just in the bathroom, and there's a shit in the toilet, in the fucking wastebasket. Someone took a shit in the wastebasket. So, like, everyone's just sitting there just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, there's shit in the wastebasket? Like, shit must have gone fucking wild last night. Yeah. It was a crazy-ass night. I remember everyone waking up just asking the same question. What the fuck happened last night? And, man, there's plenty of those nights where I've had just that day where I just wake up and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And like I said, the day before I must have been too drunk because I can't remember, but the day after that's what makes me laugh. And that's the memory that I remember is the day after. But what about you guys? What is you guys?
Other than the recent one, because I had one recently.
Yeah, I heard you wanted to fight.
Yeah, it was. But let's not do the recent. Because that one's funny, but that's a recent one. That wine will creep up on you pretty quickly. Which I feel embarrassed because Maggie drank like more than I did.
Way more than you.
And I had a couple beers and some of that bottle, and I saw a video of myself, and I was just done.
Which is crazy because...
Well, you know what? To be fair, Maggie drinks more than... she not drinks more, but I think Maggie can handle her alcohol a lot better than
I'll give her that much. Yes, she can.
There's days when she can drink me.
And you know what? Flat out, I'm going to say that she has the best name ever.
Hell yeah, man.
Margarita Limon is the best name.
It's amazing.
God, that's so badass. But to be fair, she can handle her.
But I have one. So my sister got married, and they got married at the church my dad was a member of, and I remember some people from Jackpot had come up. Jason, your cousin, Stephanie was there. And she was like, I paid for all this. I don't have any money for alcohol. So I was like, I'll go to Sam's Club, get a bunch of beer. I'll get some alcohol. I got some margarita mix with tequila in it. And then I also got some tequila. But I made some bad choices. I ended up getting Sam's Club brand margarita mix and Sam's Club brand tequila. I think it was called La Calle or something like that.
Oh, ay, cabrón.
You're fucking crazy. Man.
Yeah, and I don't remember what happened. I remember Jason, and Stephanie were right there. Annette was there as well. And we started drinking. And one point I was like, we should take shots. So we didn't have shot glasses. I think we ended up finding Dixie paper cups, and we were just drinking. And we were just drinking. I remember my friend Adam, who was there at the time, he was the DJ. We paid him to be the DJ. Which is, at this point, I'm kind of mad at myself because I paid him $200 to play Rhapsody for like 3 hours.
Well, to be fair, a lot of DJs get paid an insane amount of money just to push play on the
even more.
Yeah, but either way, so we were drinking, and we were drinking a lot. The one thing I remember is in the parking lot of the church, Jason Brangle was throwing up quite a bit. That tequila was not good. I'm going to admit it. That was a bad choice I made. But I remember I was pretty drunk. And it is one of those drunks where, because my dad doesn't like alcohol, and it was one of those drunks where like 3 days later he still wasn't speaking to me. So I was pretty fucked up. So, but my friend Adam's like, hey, I'm going to take you home. I'm in a tuxedo. And I said, you're not taking me home. You're going to take me to Sam's Club right now because I'm going to fight my manager.
Yes.
And it was graveyard. So on the graveyard shift, the doors were locked, but you just ring a bell. And I told him, I said, you take me over there and I'm going to fight him. And I'm trying to fight a guy that's an ex-Marine. But I was intent on going over there because I was sick of his shit to go over there and just fight him.
You're pretty fucking drunk.
I was pretty drunk.
I was talking right now.
So
listen here, motherfucker.
So I
have enough of your shit.
So I remember he had a blue Scion, and what I don't remember how fast he got there. I remember we got there, and I remember going up to ring the bell. But right as I rang the bell, Adam took off.
He did shit.
So I'm like, what the fuck? This fucking asshole, like, because then you like come to your senses, like, fuck, I have no one to back me up now.
We get my ass beat.
Yeah. So I remember, I think I rang the bell, but then I started walking through the parking lot, and then all I remember is someone finding me in the parking lot, laying in the parking lot, and it was a supervisor at the time that worked at Sam's Club. She picked me up. I remember her picking me up. And she's like, are you okay? And I was like, I think I remember saying, like, I've had too much to drink. And she's like, I can tell.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Little bit. But mind you, Southern California, I'm laying in an empty parking lot in the tuxedo. Like, so she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I need to go home. And then, so I remember she's like, do you know how to get home? Because she was like, if you can't find your way home, I'm just going to take you home to my house. Because she had a ranch there in San Dimas. And you just sleep on the couch and we'll get you home in the morning. But all I remember after that is I woke up at my dad's house and nothing but my underwear and a tuxedo just strewn everywhere. And I remember my dad didn't want to talk to me for like 3 days.
It's really because you came home and acted a fool.
Probably.
Exactly what it was, man.
But that's one. There's probably, I could say many more, but there's one.
Everyone has a whole
Go ahead, Dean. Let's see what's.
I think the drunkest I've ever been was at Mikey's going away party, and we had a jackpot. And I remember the 2 days before, no, maybe like 3 days before, me and Frost, me and Faustino made up the Facebook invite, and we called it. For some reason, Frost always called Mikey Drinky Crow because he always call you Crow. He always call you Crow. It's like, oh, where's Crow at? And it's like, Drinking Crow's away party. We're gonna have a beer pong tournament and all that. And I was like, yeah, do it, man. Let's just get punt. And at this point, when I was in Faustino, we drank a lot. We'd go to the West Star, maybe we'd easily pound like 5-6 pitchers of Bud Light, and we weren't that drunk.
You guys would be okay after that.
Not that drunk. So that was a Beer Fest reference.
Yeah, I got it.
Cheeky bastards. So we would drink a lot. So we were like, oh, dude, we're just gonna go all out. We're just gonna buy. I think we got a keg of beer. Yeah, no, we did. We got a keg of beer. And we got a bunch of Keystone. We kept it cheap, man. We got that Keystone Light. We got that Natural Light, man. We got that. We got that beer you only find people drinking on cops when they get arrested.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
I didn't hit her. God damn it! So we were drinking. So that's all we drank, and so we bought tons of it, and we set like a beer pong tournament, and we were playing. And I was just drinking a lot, and it didn't really hit me. And then you can tell when you drink a lot because for me it was like it wasn't a blackout, it was a brownout. And I'm taking this term from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia because it's perfect. Because a blackout you completely forget.
You're gone.
A brownout you
blotches.
It's just like you know what you're kind of doing and you're not. And so that night we were playing beer pong, and after a while I was like, oh, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling all right. And it started to brown out. I was like, oh, what is going on? and then I'd come to, and there'd be more people leaving and all that, and I'd be drinking more beer. And Sergio was there, and every time I'm with Sergio, we just drink beer, dude. We just started drinking beer like crazy. And we started drinking beer, and then David was there, and like everyone, it was really funny because it was like everyone was cramped in a small apartment, and we were just having a good time. And And then the party starts dying down, and that's when it transitioned from a brownout to a blackout. Because there's a certain hour of time where I was sitting on the couch, everything went black. I woke up, I was in the Four Jacks. And I was like, what am I doing here? And there's like 6 of us there, and then I remember the waiter came out. It's like, what do you guys want? It's like, I'll take a beef eater. And then we're sitting there waiting for the food. Blackout. Next thing I remember, there's half the beef eater gone, the other half there, and I was like, and Caitlin was the only sober one there, and I told Caitlin, just give me a box. I'm not gonna eat this. And I probably like mid-sentence, I just blacked out again. Next thing I remember, I'm crawling on the cement like from Faustino's house, like trying to on the driveway, trying to crawl into the apartment. I was like, oh my god, I've never been so drunk. And then I black out, and I wake up, and I'm on the couch, and then I haven't told anyone this, and I'm going to tell you guys this because there's been twice where I've messed myself twice. not in the number 2 sense, but number 1 sense. And then I was on the couch, and then I wake up, and I'm still really, really drunk. I'm still really drunk, but I have to go to the bathroom, and to the point, it's like I'm drunk enough to know. I probably should do something. That I need to get up to go to the bathroom, but I'm also drunk enough to know that I can't do it. So it just ends up just happening, and it's like, and it's so embarrassing to tell because like you should know better. You're a
grown man.
Well, no, to be fair, I wasn't that grown then. I was still pretty young, but it's like. It happened, and you know that scene in Bridesmaids when she's walking across after it's happening. It's happening. That's exactly what you think. It's like, yeah, I'm doing this right now, and I remember what sucked is Faustino didn't have a washer or dryer. Oh no! So after it happened, I was like, I got up. I wasn't gonna be sitting in my own mess, but I got up and I was like, I just did this. I better clean this. And that whole night I didn't go to sleep, so I was drunk the whole night. And there was like all Faustino's cats just staring at me. Just judging me like, we
use the kitty litter box.
Yeah.
How do you get permission to do this right here?
At least we know where to go when we have to go. And they're just all staring at me.
Well, cats are very judgmental.
So the whole night, I was getting the blankets, I was getting everything, and then next thing I remembered, like the sun's coming out, and I'm walking to the laundromat, and I'm really thinking to myself, like, I thought of every single choice that brought me to this point. And I was like, well, man, and honest to God, the only thing I said was like, well, at least Mikey had a good time.
And in the end, that's all that mattered.
Yeah, all right,
it was a great time. It was a great
that was probably the drunkest, the most embarrassing moment I've ever had.
That's amazing.
Was that. We won't talk about the other one that happened here, but
no, we're good. You know what? Honestly, we should probably cut it right where we are now. It's a good time. But I mean, I think we're all set. Tony, if you want to close us out.
All right. So. Again, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Drunk Weekends LB and at Facebook.com/DrunkWeekendsLB. The show is also the beer is finally kicking in. Right? The show is also available to watch on YouTube. We're going to try to post it every Sunday, hence no technical difficulties, but it should be posted every Sunday night after recording this.
Definitely. Most definitely.
All right.
But other than that, we all set.
That's it.
All right.
All right, everybody have a good night.
Good night.